Hi, a while ago I was in Kiev and from one of those souvenir stands I bought an old mechanical calculator and I had to disassemble it because it wasn't working properly, and I'll show you how I rebuild it and how it works. Here are all the parts for the mechanical calculator. The type is a Feliks-M and it's the successor of an older version, the Feliks mechanical calculator. I don't know when it was produced, but I think it's around the 60s or 70s. This is the base, it's cast aluminum and it's machined. And on the base there's a sliding part and some kind of a rotating part with two sets of number wheels on the sliding part and one set of number wheels on the rotator. This is the base. The surface is roughly machined. There are some holes drilled in it, some are tapped, and there are locating pins for parts which should be attached to the base. It has rubber feet. I have to remember to work in the view of the camera. Tried to record this video earlier, but I broke my webcam, and the method I had for assembling the parts wasn't the best one, I think. It was kind of hard to assemble. There are some parts that won't come apart anymore because they're pinned together, and I don't want to punch out the pins. All screws are just regular screws, no Phillips head or something like that. And I already made a mistake. It's a bit awkward working like this. I have the camera in front of my face. Not happy about this one. Let's see. It's not sitting right, seated right. I didn't know anything about mechanical calculators when I bought this one. I just saw it hidden away in a souvenir stand. The guy was really anxious to sell it to me. I mean, he was really trying to, but the machine wasn't working right. So he was kind of forcing it. That's why I disassembled it to see what the problem was. This part is a part for indexing the powers of 10. It has locating pins, but one of them is broken. That's all I can do with the base at the moment. This is the base of the sliding part. It's a flat aluminum bar. It's been drilled and there are some locating pins in it. These two are a bit misaligned. It's a bit of a problem, but not too big. These pins were inserted and then the bar was sanded down to flatten these spots. This is another part. This is one of the parts I didn't want to disassemble. It has a couple of these rocking types of levers. There is I hope you can see this. There's a small spring-loaded pin in here, which locks it on the shaft in one of two positions. And there's also a set of gears on the shaft. They are rotating freely. They're not locked or keyed. This shaft is being held between these two cast aluminum brackets. There is a hole at the back, which can hold which can take a set screw, which locks this in position in this groove. I think this threads in the hole has been damaged a bit. This screw sometimes didn't want to be inserted. Now it's in position, okay, alright. The shaft is fixed in position, it doesn't rotate or anything. It also holds this bracket. So I'll show this function later. This aligning might be a bit tricky. Well, I don't mean tricky. There's a bit of resistance. I'm a bit clumsy sometimes. There's another piece of cast aluminum. Here are the next parts. This pin fits into this plate. Next are these two parts. This is a series of holes, slots, and the holes hold springs. there's still one pin in here, and make sure I can't install it the wrong way around. I don't know if the part is really reversible, but I just can't misalign it. This one has a hole in the back. It holds a bell. And there's a small opening here. And this holds a hook. Where this spring is attached. Also, this part isn't symmetrical. Okay. The first time I tried to assemble this, I forgot the little hook. And when the slide is fully assembled, you can't insert it afterwards. There's no clearance for it. There's a little ring for the bell. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it should go between parts or at the end. But there's no mark on the bell, so I'll put the ring in first. This spring will touch the bell like this when it's triggered. There's one other part which is screwed to the base. It's this comb-like thing. It has radiused edges milled out, and it holds another shaft which acts as a pivot point for these rocking things. Also there's two locating pins, and I can't turn around because the holes wouldn't line up. And there is a extra piece of metal in here. I think it's also for making sure the set is located correctly. This one should go in like this. There's non-symmetrical holes. They're not spaced evenly, and one side of the holes is countersunk for screws. Now it's time to insert the springs. Now, there's still a few left in the hole. Got to remove him after my first building attempt. Alright. These springs push against this metal strip. It's steel, I think, which fits this slot, and it's located right below the gear. I will now just install one number wheel to show you how it works. This is one of the number wheels. It's numbered 0 through 9. There's a gear pinned to a disc. There's a bushing. They fit these this shaft, which has a winged handle, which is pinned to the shaft, and it's crimped on both ends, so I can't remove the pin. This is spring loaded, and if you can see this, there is a little notch around here, so when you turn it, also it's there's a bit of difference in height on both the ends. If you turn it, it pulls these keys to the right until you've turned it one revolution. With the 0 aligned on the keys, you can slide the number on the shaft. And with the 3 aligned, you can only slide it in, but you can still rotate the shaft inside. And this rod is inserted through this hole. Just put it in the middle right here. There's a groove on this side, and a hole for a set screw. This ring has a locating pin, which goes in here. it's easier to pin in afterwards. This will do for now. So here's one assembled number. I'll try to move the camera and get a better view. This is the position of the 0 with the cover plate on. Now, when this gear is turned, the digit advances. There's one tooth over here, and when it advances from 9 to 0, this lever is triggered, and I think it will act as a carry for advancing the next digit. But I haven't seen it work yet, because that part was not functioning when I took it apart. There's a view from the other side. It triggers again. That's for adding. You can also subtract this device, and it also triggers in the opposite direction. Now I will install all the wheels. Now I forgot to show this. This is the other side. It's also a set of numbers. It has the same system. You can see that only one side is opened up completely. The other side is pressed inwards. Let's see if I can get this to focus. And when all the number wheels are installed, the key sits inside of the wheel, and it revolves around it. But it can lock on the side which is pressed inward. This is the normal position of this shaft. It's spring loaded, so it won't move, and you can't rotate it counterclockwise. But if you rotate it clockwise, you can see these keys. They are pulled to the right. And they return to their original position after one revolution. And the function is to reset the number wheel. So if you're done with one calculation, you can reset the result. You can start a new calculation. I was just installing the number wheels, but I encountered a problem. This lever, these are quite easy to move, but this one locked up. I think it has to do with the pin which is inside there. I think it matters which side is which side is turned towards the rod. I'll now just rotate it 180 degrees. Let's see. Still rather hard to move. You can hear the difference. I have to find out what's causing this. I checked springs for the push pins. And this one is broken, I think. There's no spring tension anymore. Just bends. It feels kinda corroded. Now I've got to find a replacement for it.